Hey friends, welcome back to the Destination Baby and Kids YouTube channel. This is Gina. I am really excited to be here with you today to go over one of my all-time favorite strollers for 2025, the Bugaboo Kangaroo. But before we launch into the video, if you haven't yet, I would super appreciate it if you would go ahead and subscribe to the channel. You can like the video, you can share the video, you can definitely leave a comment at the bottom, or if you have a question, happy to answer it for you. Also, if it's appealing to you in any way, like if you fall in love with this product and you want to purchase it, if you head over to my website, destinationbabykids.com, you will be able to see all the color offerings, the correct pricing that is fluctuating a little bit right now. And we can help you get anything shipped directly to you. So again, my website, destinationbabykids.com. I'm a real brick and mortar store here in the San Francisco Bay Area. So yeah, let's launch into the Bugaboo Kangaroo and why it is such a fabulous option for parents, and just a stroller that's unbelievable kind of in every way. So, all right. Admittedly, when I did the preview of this stroller at the All Baby Child Expo last year in 2024, I was not particularly impressed with it. The reason why I say that is that it is a single to double stroller from Bugaboo that is going to be referred to as a tandem style stroller. Now, what I neglected to understand was how other things in the market were going to be changing and why this is so special and so significant. The other thing about it is that it's an unbelievable value for dollar, which is really weird to say about Bugaboo. Historically, they are the most expensive strollers, bar none. Now, yeah, you can buy other models of certain strollers that might be more expensive. But as far as premium is concerned, I would say they are equivalent with like Rolls-Royce, Bentley. I mean, they are top of the line. So what is so special about Bugaboo? They sort of came onto the scene, just for some context. If you remember Sex and the City, if you're old enough to remember that, the show Sex and the City, it was kind of like Golden Girls. Yeah, right. But Miranda, one of the characters, got pregnant, and she had a Bugaboo frog. And the entire stroller world, the trajectory of strollers and the value that they had for people changed very significantly from it sort of being on that show. So Bugaboo has been around forever. They are premium. They've always been premium. The pricing reflects that. This guy is going to cost $11.99 currently, but again, with tariffs, that's probably up to change. And what are we getting for that amount? So when you buy it, you're going to get the setup that you see right here directly on it. So you're going to get a chassis with a height adjustable handle. You have one frame that can be a bassinet, which is how it's set up right now. Bassinet you use from 0 to 6 months. This is true of all bassinets. Bassinets, you discontinue the use when the baby starts rolling and pushing up on their hands and knees. So you use it this way for the first 6 months. Then after you're finished using bassinet mode, like once baby starts rolling and you can tell they're ready to sit up into a stroller seat, you remove this fabric from the frame and you put some other fabric on it that is seat fabric. So I have these both set up simultaneously just because when I'm showing people it takes too long to switch from one to the other. But the cool thing is that you are not stuck with this big bulky bassinet after you're done using it. The fabric will fold up, go away into a drawer, into a closet, whatever you need to do. You're not stuck with extra parts that you aren't using. So that's very exciting. So one thing I want to show is the bassinet stand. This is of course sold separately for $165. But what is so fabulous, you buy the stand and then you buy a set of clips that go with it. It's super portable. I have a whole video about it because I'm obsessed with it. But as you can see, the bassinet will clip directly onto it. And now I can have this bassinet right next to my bed and be able to sleep, have baby sleep overnight in it. I can roll over, grab baby, do everything I need. But this component that comes with the stroller would be functional either on the stand or on the stroller chassis. So I think that that is an awesome feature that they offer. Now additionally, this stand is very cool because as you saw, the seat also will sit on it. So if you want to turn it into like kind of a high chair situation when you're out and about, you could certainly do that because again, that stand is incredibly portable. It weighs about 4 pounds, folds up, goes into a little bag. So as you can see, we have the option for bassinet for first 6 months. This stroller will also include car seat adapters, okay? That is so cool. Those car seat adapters, I wouldn't say are universal, but they work for a pretty broad variety of brands. So I'm gonna go ahead and clip them on. And now I'm gonna take this Kleck Ling infant seat, and this is a very cool little Canadian car seat. And as you can see, that clips on. And so now we have a car seat connection directly here to the stroller. So you can walk with the car seat on it from birth. You could use the bassinet from birth, but then you also have the option to use the stroller seat once kiddo gets larger. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove the Kleck from the adapters, super easy. And one thing I did notice that I thought was pretty cool, I think these adapters are reversible. That's not always true with this type of adapter. So if you wanted kiddo to face out toward the world, you have that option as well. So just something to be aware of that we like to show off. Very cool feature. So as I said, car seat adapter is included in the purchase price, and so is the bassinet. But as kiddo outgrows bassinet, then you start to use what's referred to as the stroller seat. So we would take all that fabric off of the bassinet and we would put it onto the, put that bassinet fabric away. We take the stroller seat fabric and we put that directly onto the product. And as you can see, whew, incredible stroller seat, right? Holds up to 50 pounds. Another nice feature with this stroller is that the canopy does raise up and down to give you more head clearance. You have an articulating foot plate with a heel stirrup, I might add. Very important for me. If you've watched my videos, you know I'm kind of crazy for a heel stirrup. So, really nice option. It will fold one-handed, and it is theoretically self-standing when it folds up all the way. So your one-handed self-standing fold looks like that. I wouldn't say it's super small. It's 28 pounds. I would obviously remove the seat, put the seat in the vehicle trunk, and then take the frame and fold that separately. But again, it is nice to see that it does fold with the seat on the frame. They haven't always done that with Bugaboo products, so nice feature that they offer. The other thing here is that the seat is of course going to be able to face both directions. This is a modular stroller, so that means our seat will face out toward the world, but then also parent face, which is a nice feature. Although I always feel like they never want to look at you when they're this age. This is usually better for little babies, but nice feature. And of course has full recline in each direction. So you do get a multi-position recline scenario, facing out or facing caregiver. Now, this is pretty typical of most strollers. So like, great, it does bassinet and it does the car seat and it does the stroller seat and the bassinet's included, all very fancy. Makes sense. However, what's gonna make this guy special from Bugaboo is that when you're ready to turn it into a 2-kid stroller, it's going to do that, and it's gonna do it super well. So the nice part too with this seat, just to show folks at home, is that it's a true one-handed operation. If you wanted to remove the seat, I can press those buttons on both sides, they're memory buttons, and pull up. So I don't need to have 2 free hands in order to do the operational stuff with the seat, which I think is a nice feature to point out. Now, when you turn it into a 2-kid system, there's a piece on the stroller that will pop off, and it has pictures of little kids. So like there's a single side and then a double side. Sorry, I'm sure it's like very blurry, but you spin it on the actual frame and there's red and green components that line up to let you know that you're doing it properly. And I like this, that it's built on to the stroller. It's not a separate piece that you have to purchase. It's just built into the purchase price that you could set it up for 1 or for 2 kids if you're willing to buy the double seat. So they make a second seat which is sold separately. When you buy that second seat, it will come with a pair of brackets that pop into the front of the frame. And this is very much like Up a Baby with their Vista stroller. So you Pop these little brackets on, and I will say this is easier to set up than Vista from single to double, no question. The brackets just go on more easily. So now our second seat will go on the front, and we have a couple options here, which is very exciting. So the first option that we would have is we can do a bassinet on the top and our big kid on the bottom, or of course we can do car seat on the top and kiddo on the bottom. So I'm going to show car seat because that's pretty typical. The other thing about the car seat is most strollers that go single to double can do exactly what you see here. So now I'm taking a Nuna car seat just to kind of show differences that yes, different car seats can clip onto these universal adapters that they include. So now we have our double seat on the front with our toddler. Double seat will hold 40 pounds. The main seat would hold 50. So very, very nice in terms of how much weight they hold. So we've got our little baby here and our toddler down here. But as I mentioned before, one thing that's super special about this guy is that you can do the bassinet in the top position with your toddler seat on the front of the stroller. So there is only one other stroller that can currently do what I'm about to show here, and that is the Silver Cross Wave. I would say the Bugaboo for me would be what I would pick over the Wave. I just like it better. But everybody's different with what they like, and there's no right or wrong, just difference of opinion. So as you can see here, I'm putting the bassinet directly onto, there's this piece that I set on here is called a newborn bassinet riser, I think is the term for it. And your bassinet will sit there, it'll lock on, and then obviously you would have your canopy and your front bar from the main seat set up on your bassinet. I'm not going to switch it out right now. Actually, I probably should, just because people won't understand unless the canopy's on the bassinet. Sometimes it's really helpful visually just to see. But as you can see here, you've got bassinet on the top, and this will, when you do it correctly, nicely fit all around super perfectly, because you don't do it in 2 seconds for a video. Your bassinet will sit on there when it's locked on properly, and you've got your kiddo in the front. So really, really nice feature that Bugaboo offers this. As I said, there's only one other stroller that will do this. Why would anybody care? If you don't want your child in a V shape in the car seat, this will give them the option to lie flat. And again, your bassinet was included in the purchase price when you bought it. So it's nice to be able to reuse that component for your new baby with your older child. So very cool feature set there. Now, obviously, let's go ahead and set the bassinet in here. The main thing would be, as far as when the seats are on it, you want to make sure, so again, this piece is sold separately. I think it's like 40 bucks. Again, that's probably all changing with tariffs, but that's the price today. And you know, that's a good point. If stuff's affordable today, maybe you should head on over to destinationbabykids.com and buy the stuff today before it goes up in price. Because once it goes up, it's probably not going to come back down. Okay, so we've got our second seat now clipped onto the stroller. I'm going to take that front bar again off the bassinet. Sorry, I keep having to do the swap over for you guys. But this way, hopefully you understand that it is one frame with 2 sets of fabric and not 2 separate things. Because you see I'm interchanging these fabric pieces on one frame to another, just to kind of demonstrate. There is 1 panel of ventilation on the top of this seat, and then also 1 panel on this guy on the front. Again, your top seat would hold 50 pounds, your bottom seat holds 40. And the big benefit again is that it has the best push. So if you really want to do this stadium style single to double, this is no question my favorite. That is a stadium style. I still don't prefer stadium style to like inline double, but if you were going to do this type, Kangaroo would be what I would suggest, just because the push is so incredible. And I just love it as a single. I think as a single stroller, it's a total home run. It pushes like a dream. The basket holds 30 pounds. The basket is enormous. This seat holds 40, this seat holds 50. Let's talk about the 4-year warranty. The main seat has a 20-inch backrest. Your harness minimum on the seat is 9.75. The maximum is 14.75. Your canopy clearance on the main seat is going to be 24.5 inches of canopy clearance. That's a ½ inch more than the Vista, which we love. The seat width is 12 inches. The seat depth is 10 inches. The leg extension is 9. The crotch belt depth is 4 inches. It does have this very cool buckle on it. Let me show you guys. Hopefully you can see all the way down here. Let me move that. But when you undo the buckle, it's sort of a pop off. They all just kind of pop off. And you have these pieces which help, like when you're putting your kid in and out, they'll go around their body more easily. Handle height goes all the way from 36.5 low to 43.5 inches high. So it's a good distance there. Again, it's a 28-pound weight. The basket shelf is 27 by 16. We talked about the capacity being roughly 30 pounds on the basket. The back opening for the basket is about 10 inches. Why that matters is if you have a kiddo on the front, your front opening sort of obviously goes away. But if you did have the front open, your front opening would be 11 inches. It, of course, has a front wheel lock, so if you want to lock your front wheels, you'll be able to do that. It won't recline deeply enough for a newborn, but that's because it comes with a bassinet. And it is a sandal-friendly brake. So I'm wearing sandals right now. I'm able to hit the brake no problem. Second seat cost theoretically right now is $249. Again, that will change with tariffs. Bassinets included. The bassinet stand is like $165 with the correct clips. And then the other thing that I wanted to make sure that I talked about was the bassinet size is 28.5 inches long by 13 wide by 10 deep. So just so that we're clear about that. You can get a front tray for $60. You can get a cup holder for yourself for $40. Rain shield is $50. They make a wheeled board for a third kiddo to be on the back to either stand and ride or sit on like a banana bike seat. So it's a pretty fabulous option if you wanted to turn it into an option for 3. Now, the second seat on it, just so that people are aware, the backrest is a little shorter than on the main seat. The main seat backrest is 20 inches. Your backrest on your front seat is going to be 17.5. Your canopy clearance is 23 inches, so that's still pretty fabulous. You still get an articulating foot plate on your lower seat, which is really awesome. The knee drop is 7.75 inches. The seat depth is 8.5. The seat width is 11.5. It has the heel stirrup, so all of that's good on the second seat. Now, let's talk about one more secret thing that Bugaboo is going to yell at me about, but I don't care because I want to show you guys. If you ask them, or if you try to find it online, they will say that this is not a stroller for twins or kids of the same age. And in general, the reason why they're going to say that is because they make a side-to-side double stroller called the Donkey, which they feel is a better choice for twins. And in many ways, I do agree with that. However, I just want to show that if you were comfortable doing 2 car seats on it, you can buy a secondary set of infant car seats from them. They will say, again, you cannot use it like this, so they are not going to endorse this behavior at all. They won't tell you to do this, but I just feel it's important for people to see that if it was your dream to have it and use 2 car seats on it and 2 bigger kids, like if it is your dream twin setup, even though you cannot do 2 bassinets on this, they won't fit. You certainly can do 2 infant car seats. Now, it is not insurance tested this way, but just to show the viewing audience that if this was something that would be appealing to you physically, it exists. So again, Bugaboo will not encourage this, but I just want to show if this makes more sense for you than a Donkey and you really want a Bugaboo for twins, again, the 2 car seats would fit on it. You could do 2 reclining Cybex Cloud Tees on it, or even 2 Peg Perego lounge car seats reclining on it with the correct adapter set. And, you know, again, not ideal, but certainly is something that could happen. So, hopefully this answers some questions about Bugaboo Kangaroo. But as I said before, an awesome choice for 1 or 2 children. I love the fact it can grow with your family as you need it to. I love the fact that when you're folding it with just car seat stuff on it, it is super lightweight, super easy, pushes like a dream. Again, Bugaboo's always going to be the best for like the solid, beautiful push. I'm a push snob, so it matters to me. And this is all like more eco-friendly than it used to be. So I don't know what they say, 33% less carbon than the previous model. I don't get into that, but it is responsibly made. It's a certified B Corp. So that's exciting too. So again, head on over to my website, destinationbabykids.com. If you want to buy one or check out the other 3 colors that it comes in. I'm showing it in a tan, but it does come in a red, a black, and a black and white, which is sick. And you can buy any of them directly from me on my website, destinationbabykids.com. All right, do you think Kangaroo is a solid value for dollar? I think so, but I would love to hear your opinion. Leave it below, and hopefully we'll see you in our next video comparing this to maybe a Vista or other kinds of strollers.